Cathy Engelbert is the commissioner of the WNBA. She's also a 2024 CNBC changemaker. Congratulations. Sarat Sethi is also still here with us as we've all been chatting so many times in recent months and over the years. Cathy, just watching the WNBA try to take this traction that it has from some of these players coming out of college now and really running with that. So what are your expectations for this season?
Well, this season, given the growth you just mentioned last season, my mantra is sustain and gain, sustain the momentum and gain on it. I think we have a lot more upside. We just had a record-breaking preseason where we did a little college tour. We went to the University of Iowa where Caitlin Clark had played. We went to LSU where Angel Reese and Haley Van Lith played. We went to Notre Dame where a couple of our players played, and went to Oregon where Sabrina Ionescu. So that was like record-breaking. For the first time ever, all of our preseason games were either on broadcast or streamed, so our fans could find them. So we're really looking forward to this year. We have our first expansion team in 17 years, the Golden State Valkyries, who tip off tomorrow night. In the Chase Center. I'm going. Right? I'll be headed to San Francisco tomorrow, and then we give out the rings on Saturday to the Liberty at Barclays Center. Wow. So a big opening weekend coming up, and just an incredible new rookie class coming in, led by Paige Beckers, who won a national championship. You know,
we were talking to Alexis Ohanian this morning, who has just made a big investment in the women's Chelsea football team over in the UK. And he said the way that they look at fan engagement, social media being one proxy for that women's sports he still thinks are undervalued. And obviously you guys get a ton of fan engagement and interaction. So is that part of how you're growing the ecosystem? Does there need to be more still done to kind of communicate a lot of the stories about these players? Is it still very kind of hit driven, in other words?
Well, there's a couple angles. One is the economic model that drives valuation. So your revenue and our media rights deal and our corporate partnership revenue, and obviously fandom in arena and on digital and social platforms. And then there's the player storytelling, which is more the marketing angle, where we've hired a lot of expertise around that in-house at the WNBA to drive storytelling, short form, medium form content, in addition to obviously our games.
Yeah. So it was a great playoff last year. I mean, you guys did a great job with that. What are you looking forward to for this year that's going to be a little bit different or more exciting that you could tell the viewers to say, hey, we're ready for this. This is going to be more fun, or et cetera. So
I think our free agency that just occurred in January into February, there was a lot of player movement in free agency. So there's a lot more parity in the league this year. There'll be teams that are competing in the run-up to the playoffs, Sarat. And then we'll have our first ever 7-game series for our WNBA finals. Can you imagine last year's final between Minnesota and New York going 7 instead of 5, which is what it was. We're also playing the most games ever in our history this year, 44 games. So each team will have 22 home games. Teams are moving to bigger arenas. So there's a confluence of a lot of positive elements that we're looking forward to this year.
And where do things stand on the collective bargaining agreement for player salaries? I know that they feel like now with the success of this league that they want to participate in that and kind of have an equal footing.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel really optimistic of where we are. Obviously, we're meeting often with the Players Association. We'll be chipping away over the course of the summer, and I think we'll do something transformational when we get into the fall to the end of the year.
Are there sticking points? I mean, we've sort of seen some of this reported in and out of the media as it goes on, but how would you describe overall kind of your philosophy? And I remember the story you were always telling about how they were only able to kind of get commercial air flights, a couple of years ago. I mean, this league has come a very, very long way in a very short period of time. So give us a glimpse, kind of what's next and what should the players expect?
When I joined the league 4 days in, I was in my first collective bargaining meeting in the last round, and we have come a long way. But we all said we're going to invest, the owners are going to invest, and we're actually going to build an economic model to be able to set this league up for decades and to set these players up for generations. And we have so many great rookie classes to come. Even if you look at the U17 players, they're amazing. So we want to set this model up to be sustainable. We did give charter for the entire season and playoffs last year. That'll continue. That is, obviously is on the list, as well as higher player pay. And now we have a media rights deal that will help us really
the big NBC deal, right? You're part of that.
Return a lot of that to the players.